remember when they had the kid with the basketball? He was twirling it. You want to know how many basketball papers I read? A ton. I don't want to know about basketball. Just because that picture's there, ignore that picture. I don't even want to talk about that picture. I don't even care about this.
That's better.
I don't care about this. This is the only line that I really want to know about because that's the one that says right. Okay? I want to write about a time. Did it say times? No. One thing, okay, look at this. This first line says write about a personal experience. I'm going to give you copies. Did we give them already? Copies of the prompts?
No,
I envision
I'm going to send them out an email
Okay.
to all the participants.
you're going to get an email with a ton of prompts, like 24 prompts. Okay? 12 of them are expository, 12 of them are narrative. Cut off where it says expository, cut off where it says narrative, throw those suckers in the middle of the room and have your kids sort them. They need to be able to tell the difference between the two. Okay? They're not going to write anything. They're just sorting them. You can play a game where they flip them over and they have to match to expository. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, let them know the difference. Biggest difference right here is write about a personal experience. Clearly state your central idea. I don't know if they're going to have pictures. Everyone that I've seen has a picture on the expository and on the narrative and not on the expository. Everyone that I've seen. Well, we've only seen 2. So, I guarantee you, George, okay, let me tell you who George is real quick. George is the guy in the state capitol building basement who makes the STAR test, okay? So when I'm cursing somebody a little bit, it's going to be George, okay? So George is the guy who made this test. And George, I guarantee you, might trip up your kids. And we say, oh, if it's got a picture, you got to do a narrative. No. They're not going to change this be sure to statement. But they could change that, okay? So I heard somebody tell them that. Oh, if it's got a picture, it's a narrative. No. Don't tell them that. How do you know? Are you George? No, I'm not George. Okay. Over here. Write about your favorite time of year. So your thing that you're holding is a time of year. They had to pick a time of year. I had kids who picked their favorite season, all the way to their favorite month, all the way to their favorite holiday. Be very careful that you're picking your time of year. We had one kid who said every holiday, and they got in 1 because it wasn't focused. Okay?
You're going to have to wiggle your mouse, I think. Oh, there it is.
Okay. On this one, I don't worry about the read. I don't worry about the think. I want to go straight to that right. What's happening is they're getting caught up here. They list for them ideas. Like sometimes they'll say, we all have special people in our life, like our parents and our teachers and blah, 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 blah. Write about somebody who's special to you. Well, everybody wrote about the people that were in that box. I don't even want to know about that. You could pick anybody. It could be your friend. It could be your turtle. Be creative, okay? All right. Everybody with me on that? There's no way you can plan a paper for the wrong prompt. That's why I wanted to put this part in here. Because what I'm seeing in the district is we're planning papers, maybe, but we're not planning them for the correct prompt, so that's got to get nicked. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a narrative rewriting. Oh, wait, before we do that, we have time now since I've blabbered? How we do? Okay.
Make time.
I'm going to give each table a poster. I want you to take your poster, and you're going to make, fold it in half vertically and left. This class? Yes, we're going to fold it in half this way. Make yourself a 2-column note. For all 4th grade, we know avid skills. We're going to put narrative and expository. What I want you to do under the narrative column is I want you to write all the ways you've pre-planned. Okay? We have experts in this room. I'm not the expert. I'm just here to give you what I did and what worked for me. Okay? All right, so go ahead and take it. Okay. I'll go ahead and have you stop. You don't have to do the narrative side. We'll do that. I'll give you a chance. And the expository side, we'll do that in a minute. So if you'll just go ahead. Okay, for narrative, I'm just going to point to someone. I'm going to pick on you. This is the the one time I get to point at people, and it's socially acceptable. So I'm going to point at you. I want you to read what you got. Okay? All right. Here's a pen. You get your...
Okay. What we do at our school a lot is the hamburger, which is helping the kid, for what?
Paragraph formation.
Paragraph formation, the little hamburger bun and then the lettuce, tomato. And it helps them in our writing workshop be able to bun, we just write B, M, B for like the intro or whatever, and then we write what it is. And it just helps them break it down. So we do like mini hamburgers per section of the page. So that helps them visualize it better.
Okay. We'll come over. This group, give me one. A narrative.
For the narrative, I do a graphic organizer,
Uh-huh.
like this one. So we have the first box will be the wall beginning. We call it wall beginning. Then this is for the setting, the climax, and we try to show instead of tell, so they know that they have to show their feelings. This will be the resolution, and this will be the box for the aha ending. And they feel this, and then we go to the.
Very good.
We start writing.
Very good. Yeah, I like it. Back here.
Okay. We just drew the graphic organizers. She was telling me that for narrative they use is where they have their topic, and then for example, if write about your favorite holiday, they make a list of 5 holidays that they're familiar with, and then they choose one that they feel they're the most familiar with, and then they write details, and then write intro and conclusion so that they remember to have that. For expository, we did say just one or
You just do the narrative. We'll come back to stuff for a minute. Thank you. Okay, narrative.
We've done word webs, plot maps, pictures, hand summaries, and like a flow chart.
The who, what, when, where, why, how. And there's one over here. I've seen those. Okay.
We've done bubble maps, quick list, blueprinting, like she said, quick list and bubble maps.
Okay. Let's go to my way of doing it. I do what's called a roller coaster. You haven't noticed yet, I'm a pretty flamboyant teacher a little bit. I kind of get a little crazy, and I used to jump up on tables for tax and tell them to lie to me, tell me a story where they're lying, and wanted the fantasies to come out. I took advantage of that. You can no longer do fantasies for Star. Has to be a realistic situation. Okay, so you have your roller coaster. I couldn't make this with my word tools. Julie was able to make this one, so it works for me. So this is really what my roller coaster looked like. I start with the idea that every narrative should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And we figure out whatever it is, really ties well with your summary. So when you're teaching summary, we do this together, okay? My middle, I want to be, of my writing, to be the climax of my paper. We talk about what climax means. That's right when all the wonderful, that's whatever you're going to tell me about. So if I'm going to write about a car accident, my climax is that accident, okay? If I'm going to write about a time that I got 100 on a paper, what's the 4? It's 4 o'clock? Oh, I got 30 minutes. Oh, you're scared. I know this time. I was like, my God, I've been talking this whole time and I haven't done any of it. Okay. Okay. Let me go faster. Y'all okay with that?
Yes.
You're gonna get, if I go too fast, you're gonna see me slow down. Okay, so we have the middle. We find our climax point. Let's say, for instance, mine is a car accident. This is the one I used to teach my kids. I come in and I go, guys, guess what? On my way to work, I saw this car accident. Can I tell you my story? Oh, what if we write about it today? And they're like, oh, yeah. We love it when Miss Guest writes. We don't have to. I'm sorry. I'm talking to it. Okay. So, I start telling them the story. I got up this morning. And I went to, I had breakfast, I got dressed. Oh, before that I took a shower. Oh, I am clean. And then I got in the car, and I stopped at McDonald's, got me a coffee, and I'd go on and on. I'd give them all this extra stuff. They didn't need to know. And then I go, oh my gosh, I'm through with my 26 lines. And I never got to the accident. I never got there. And they're like, oh, but tell us what happened. Tell us what happened, Miss Gish. I never get there because I took too much time here. So then we talk about, okay, let's go back to the accident. Where should I start talking to you about my accident? I don't want to wake up and then go to bed. I don't want to wake up and go to bed. Okay, well maybe not go to bed then, Miss Gish. I'm sorry. Let me suck on this one second. It's on my throat, so maybe I won't do it. Okay, so then I say, start thinking about all the things that led up to it. And all the things that led away from me waking up and going to bed. And they start giving me the events, right? What happened right before the car accident? I'm stopped at the light, okay? What happened right after? I get interviewed by the police. I'm in a room of a bunch of writing teachers. I had better spell it correctly. Freaking out. Gosh, y'all are gonna edit me out of here, aren't you? Just kidding. Facebook bothers me when that. Okay. All right, so we're here. So I'm at the stoplight. I'm interviewed correctly. Correctly.
By the
See, I was
police.
thinking I better write this correctly. Interviewed by the police. Notice I'm on video, so they are going to have permanent proof that I'm messing up. Stop it, Amy Harvey. All right. So what I do is I tell them, okay, let's cut our roller coaster. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Yay, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. This is the only part I care about. If I'm writing about getting on a roller coaster, I want to know right before you get up there and right after you get down. So then we draw another one. Girls, I'm dying here. We stop at the light. Police interview.
Don't give her mine.
Car accident. Is that my drink? Oh, sweet. Okay. That's all I need is more caffeine. Then, now that we focused our paper down to one period, so this is how we focus. Because they're naturally going to go here. This is what fourth graders do. They naturally want to start with it at the beginning and end at the end. So if we're doing a snowball fight, I want to know the second you walk out the door and realize it's snow. Not necessarily. Maybe it's the first ball that hits you in the face. Okay? Right? And then it ends with you laying on the ground in defeat. Not you going inside and having hot cocoa. Because that's where they're going to end it. Okay? Teaching them naturally to start finding this. It's okay to do this. Everyone does it. Everyone starts here and ends here. In your mind, you want to just tell me the whole story. But let's get to the meat of it. Okay? Let's focus our paper. So we remake another one. So many times, they have to make another one, because what I want them to do is still tell me the lead up. Anything on the roller coaster is action. That's the only thing that goes on the roller coaster. Okay, some kind of movement. I don't want thoughts, I don't want feelings. I just want action. Why? Because Miss Gish goes, action, thought, feeling, action, thought, feeling, action, thought, feeling, action, thought, feeling, action. And they just all start dancing with me, and we do action. I can't believe I'm forgetting
I
this
love
thing.
it.
I just danced. Jeez, now I gotta refocus. Action, thought, feeling. So after they've written all these actions, they start plugging in their writing, their thoughts and their feelings. It makes for the paper to flow. They actually, every sentence connects to the other. We have a little rap. Each sentence connects to the other. They should be related like you and your brother. We have a little rap. So each sentence should go to the next one. If we don't just all of a sudden say, I have a blue car. Oh, I don't care. I don't care what color your car is. We just wanted to progress it in the story. Okay? It helps them to focus. Any questions about this?
As you're modeling that for them, what are they doing?
The first time I model it, they're not writing anything. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that writing teachers make, because they expect the students to write everything they're writing. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I'm just doing an anchor chart. They're watching me. Do the gradual release model. I do, then we do, and then you do. Let it release. Get them ready. Here's the deal. The way I think that empowering writers is amazing. I'm not going to tell you it's not. I've taught it for 10 years. I think that Abydos creates writers. I'm going to tell you it's not good. I think that if you take the best of all worlds and make a situation to where your kids have a toolbox to go to, and they're not confined into a structure, and your kids will become writers because they love it, not because they're being made to do it. So if you will not confine them to a structure, this doesn't confine them to too much of a structure. I do require a beginning, a middle, and end. They can pass if their paper has a beginning, a middle, and an end. They wrap it up. One thing that I add to this, and I hate to do this to you because I don't want it to be too formulaic, but I expect the prompt keyword to go here. For instance, it's a time I was scared. I better see the word scared there. And then I expect them, like Empowering Writers does, to have a hope, a wish, a dream, to have a reflection somehow, to reflect upon what they see. So I draw a mirror, or like reflect upon the story. So we have a little mirror there. Okay? And that's kind of how we wrap it up. We end it, we reflect back, and we restate the prompt somehow, all in that last paragraph. Okay?